I was just going to come out and maybe do some kind of a short video. I ain't going to try to do too long because not this one anyway, because uh, we're supposed to, sometime today, we're going to go shopping. I set it up, but I didn't give Murray a specific time. I just told her whenever she could find the spot to put us in. So I ain't too hard near my wife ain't. But we're gonna be down in Decatur, so if there's anybody heading down that way, down at the Pig in Decatur, Tennessee, if you know where it's at, we'll be down there for a little while. And it'll probably be it'd probably be at least 2 or 3 hours for shopping that we got to do. The money we get on our food stamp card usually been pretty high since the old virus thing they like to plug. But no, me and my wife just this morning I was up for a while. We just talked about some things. But I told her, just to kind of hit high spot. I said, well, I get along with just about anybody if they could kind of see our stuff, and our points. As I told her, it wasn't about controlling anybody or nothing like that. It's just some people, I don't know why, but they always sometimes, and I try to explain this way to my wife, they always feel led to kind of tell you all the bad stuff, or at least that one did, first. I guess they were trying to say, well, I'm trying to get it all out, so then I get it out of the way. But the thing was with this one, and I'm not going to try to talk about it too long, but with this certain person, that you couldn't just talk about something one time and put it away. With her, she wouldn't let you. Like I tell my wife, it's like everything is everybody else's fault and nothing, but yet, 25 minutes later or 20 minutes later, whenever, this person come back after I've already gotten upset and walked into the bathroom trying to keep peace, and she then realizes, hey, he's trying to knock something in my head, And that's what I try to do. Like I said, I don't ask. If you don't tell, I don't ask. If you tell me, you tell us something, and all we're trying to do is help, But if you got that much, that it's going to hurt you, or something. I'm up for anything. Like I told my wife earlier, just as an example, you can tell me anything, but, if you think the subject's going to be a little bit too much or something, and you're going to bring up something that might upset somebody, I would suggest not, whether you're with us or not. If you're out there with some other people, I'd suggest not telling just anything right away. Try to have a little bit of fun. Try to get to know. See if you got anything in common. The one thing I can say, real brief and quick, I found out real quick it didn't really have much in common, me or my wife here, this person. And that's the thing, I never been so, like I've said before, I've never been so bored in my life. Never seen somebody just kind of come up in here and make you feel so bored and helpless, and you don't know what to do, you don't know where to turn. And I just felt like she threw all her stuff on top of us, expected us to make, chicken salad out of it. If you ever hear the chicken salad phrase, Well, I couldn't make no chicken salad out of this. I mean, it's too messed up. I mean, any hopes I had going in or anything my wife had, anything we had planned or wanted to try to do, or, you know, at the time I didn't have everything all fixed up, I didn't have everything kind of, we had some old stuff, some old jewelry that, my wife didn't want, a couple things like that we let the person have. But, I didn't have a idea of what, you know, we had the idea of what we wanted as far as what me and my wife was aiming for, but as far as having everything in a bag or stuff we wanted to buy, to thank you gifts, and things like that. It didn't really have everything kind of, in that regard, didn't have everything, but everything as far as what our intent was and what we hoped to get out of it, and if everything fell into place, then we would have been fine. But it just that's why I told my wife. I said, this other person down here, we're going to try her out here in a little bit. I guess if she's down there, I'm going to try to see if she's down there. But she about 2 days ago, she said something about wanting to see me and my wife there for something. I don't know. I don't know. I told my wife, I said, well, if it's a job, I'm saying no, because right away because I can't handle it. But if it's something that something down what we're hoping for, I'll try her. I'll give her a try anyway. Because everybody deserves at least one chance. I can't not just give anybody a chance. I mean, it's just with me. I don't expect perfection, but I expect things that you ought to know better on. I expect you to be willing to do them without me having to nail it into your head. You ought to know. I mean, unless you're just a kid or whatever. I mean, I can kind of, sympathize a little bit with that because depending on the kids. Well, I mean, hell, a 3-year-old's talk to me like he's 12 or 13 years old, won't see daddy. This example. And I was trying to tell the dang girl, I said, well, why you ain't getting to see daddy's because your dang mama won't fucking let you go over and see it. That's what I told my wife. You have people like this, they get kids, and for some reason or another, they don't want to work all their shit out. They just, they get their little 15, 20 minutes of make out time and do it enough at times to, have kids, and then they just don't have a plan for the future. They don't have no, this one had of any sort except for food stamps, nothing to support herself, nothing to support her kids. And some might be wondering, well, how does this person have her kids? I said, well, that's what I want to know. Because the only thing that I could come to, this is what I was trying to tell my wife earlier, the only thing I could come to is that she had some of this stuff going for her at the time. Because, I was adding up when she possibly had a kid, So by my recollection, her oldest kid was 8. So, back then when she's 30, she'd been about 20, 19 or 20. And then the other one would have come about 25. But, and like I said, it's not, nobody here in this world, needs to be fooling around with anything like that. If you can't even take care of yourself, first and foremost. I mean, I don't care how many clothes you got. I don't care if you got food stamps or not, but you always need to have something don't work. I know that. But we got SSI and we get our bills taken care of. We do have a payee that does a lot of that for us, that takes care of that mainly, sends the stuff out. So we do have, we're going to take Sethra. And, so it's only it's only $2 for there and back. And so anyway, I don't know what everybody's, and I told her a lot of it too is stuff with other people could be wound up in the news real, real bad. They could be one of these people about politics. Where do I stand with that? Where do we stand with this? About religion and the funny thing, I said I didn't have anything in common, but the only thing that seemed to be that we had in common that I could see. Well, I don't go to church that much. I don't really think about it that much. Well, that's pretty much obvious when you got somebody on or has been on drugs and fooling around out here, walking the streets with barely any clothes on, probably out here, and I didn't see this, but I'm just saying, it's almost like somebody went out there and it's like these people on the cop shows, they're stopping these prostitute people, out there doing that stuff. And, my wife tried to say, well, maybe they need some way to support. Well, there's ways to support themselves, but they need to call. The prostitution gets you killed, and that's the seriousness of that. I mean, that's all really needs to be said about that. But the options are there. Me and my wife can't just do it for you. We can support you and we can help you where we can help you, but you got to call around. This ain't our stuff, If you're one of them that wants to go out there and get a job, if I wanted to ever try again, if something come our way, we would, try our best to make it happen if I thought I could handle it. If the person that I was working for, if I wanted to. But I'm not aiming to, but it was like I told her, like if it was a situation where fella had somebody and they knew if somebody needed some help, something on the side, I wouldn't mind doing that. But I'm not advocating to go in there and sign any kind of, sign up for something that they're going to get rid of me in a couple of years without my knowledge of it, doing something under my nose that I should have firsthand knowledge. Fuck everybody else. If you're having to talk to me, you come get me, or whoever it involves, me or my wife or whatever. But y'all want to do this under the nose stuff, so yeah, it talks us out of wanting to do anything. If I can't trust you with my job, how am I going to trust you with anything outside of that? I told my wife, I said, yeah, it's awful funny how a large portion of these people will go out of their way, a few of them will go out of their way, and if it's hot, cold, rainy, I can see it raining. I can see somebody not out there in the rain. But, generally speaking, she's like, well, they'll give us a ride home and this one will do that. And I just rather not, It doesn't have anything to do with how I feel about, it does, and I'm just saying I'm not going to tear them apart, especially Hazel. But I've already said what I'm going to say about that. It just upsets me because I guess because somehow related to us, but yet when a fella even goes just out of the way to ask for just not even $1, maybe $2, just to get a few of her clothes so she could have some clothes to wear for, until, we had something figured out. No. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm not trying to shit on, people like that. But if you're gonna give people rides to the store, and it's not like she's doing it for everybody, but it just don't make any sense. I don't understand what. So I mean, what would the point be in taking anything less than what you had on your plate that you want to give somebody? If it's anything less, then you ought to know at the age that we're at, there's no taking that. We need to find something that it like I was telling her earlier, it needs to be something for where everybody understands what we're getting at and what they're hoping to get. If they're kind of leaning toward that way, and we can kind of put it together and present the whole offer to them and see if it's something they want, then okay. Because it's not likely that they're going to know that they want that right off. But if that's where we're headed and they want to just kind of, like I told her, they could come stay for a couple hours, we could talk, text on the phone if somebody were to be out there, a young lady of some sort, somewhere around, like we've said before, somewhere in their mid-20s, 30s or something, maybe 40, something like that, some average body type, but I haven't seen anything. Everything that, and I told my wife earlier, we was just having a small little conversation real quick. With us, it can go an hour or so, easy or longer. Just me and her sitting here, but no, it's just, we talk about a little bit about that and everything, and there put some, and I just kind of put some finishing touches on it a little bit, but occasionally, like I said, me and her bring up something like that. Me and her, she's like, "What's the difference?" I said, "Because we're married. You can't just bring any person or see any person up in front of me and expect me to like it. That's up to them. If they want things to go good, they know they know how to do that. They get family support, they get friends that they like to bring up in front of me, but I don't get to see them, nor does my wife, nor does, and what good is it? So that's why I was telling my wife there's a few things that need to be said. They need to wait on that, wait on that. If they're busy, leave them alone. The only person that's going to care about me or what my wife's got going on is the person that it should only involve. And that's whoever that bestie is, whoever the unicorn bestie person is. If you're happy with it, be happy with it. You don't have to go and tell everybody right away. I know you're excited, and I know we would be excited, but one thing about me and my wife, we don't go out there and tell everything right away, and that was a bad move. It's a bad move on that one's part that we had up here. She went out here and my wife kind of said, she's just making some points, and I'd come back with a point, but they were helping her with her pills and her medicine. I said, well, that's the problem. That's the whole problem, because she needed to have her stuff fixed, or she wasn't doing that. I said, that's another way you could get somebody get their killing. Getting other people free pills or whatever, or getting pills, and I want $2 or $3 back. I want $5 back. I said, many people will go after you and hard and heavy, and then eventually could wind up killing you over some stupid stuff like that. And then she said, yeah, I can see that point, I was saying, and then she was bringing up about, real quick, she was bringing up about, well, Derek, you got rid of the problem. I said, well, that's the only thing I'm good for. I said, you mean tell me these people that had a job, you couldn't have one of them? But yet Nancy Aincy Page, I call her Nancy Aincy Page. But she said, well, she tried to warn me out there that night or whatever. And And I said, well, yeah, I don't think it's because she don't want you to have it, but I think somebody was trying to say, hey, I think, my grandmother. Now that's another story, but in this instance, I have no knowledge of 1980s things. But I'll say it this way. I do believe after further talking to my wife, and even not, like I said, not really. Yeah, I think the reason everybody got off on the wrong foot, especially, was because they didn't push this woman hard enough. Had they have pushed her hard enough to want to do better, because like I've said, at the end of the day, no counselor, no paper, no nothing is going to help. If you can't help yourself, nobody can help you. You got to have it in you to do it first and foremost. So they were lazy and letting her come around there, and supposedly this Melanie or whatever is up there, she was kind of egging it on and kind of promoting this, woman's reason for coming around there. And otherwise, she don't need to be there. I mean, she needs to do first thing and put the friends aside, put your kids first, and quit putting other people in your messes. We can't clean them up for you, but you definitely don't need to be putting anybody in between your messes. That would be my advice for anybody. And that's why I hope, some of these people can come out here and say, hey, man, this is a good idea. Because one thing about it, and I don't care what the package is. Like I said, we don't discriminate against color or whatever. We just take whatever we get. But I don't have time for it. And, but it's just, when you sit back and look at it, I mean, it's just, and analyze some of this stuff, you realize how right and how brutally honest I can be, and I don't have to be in a person's shoes very long, or don't have to know them. I don't have to, I mean, it's odd, but that's one of the big things I am good at. That I, above and beyond anything else, that's kind of the thing, that I'm known for. And as long as you ain't the one that's on the opposite end of it, you laugh or cut up and think it's funny. But if you're the one that's having to be brought up to speed, and you're not counting on me cutting one on you, cutting one of these deals on you, well then listen. I got to tell my wife, if these people would listen with their ears and quit talking so much, and especially the back talking, that bothers me. That's what gets me upset first and foremost. These people are such a wreck that you can't even sit there and shut up and be quiet. I don't go around asking anybody's personal business. But when somebody brings me somebody up here, and my wife offers to help somebody, and you go and stab her in the back like that, and then I'm led to believe this is supposed to be some kind of special present, and we didn't know all this detail, like I said, that we're putting out here until after the fact. I told my wife this morning, I told her, I was kind of laughing about it. I said, we should have just let the giant sleep. Should have left her asleep. I was waking her up, didn't do any good. But I gave her the option. I told my wife this earlier. I said, I gave that woman the option. I said, hell, if you just go to sleep, well, why don't you just go, Spare us having to sit here and watch her sleep all day. Because that just didn't work for me. I understand, at that time, well, Derek, I had my kids for 4 or 5 days. I need a break. Well, why do you think we were trying to tell you after 4, 5, 6 days of it? We were trying to tell you need a break. It gets old after a while, and they just, you need a mental break once in a while. Because I understand people want to love their kids. I understand it. But even the best of kids, you need a break from them. You need to let them go see daddy. If you're not married, if you're married, that's different. But I'm saying in this instance, this person was not married and didn't have her custody stuff fixed up the way she should have. Like I said, she wants everybody else to feel sorry for her. So in a way, like I said, even if she didn't want to understand what I was trying to get to, she knew where I was going and she knew it was right. The problem was, that at the end of the day, I did do her a favor by sending her back out because she got put in a place that she was going to go over there anyway for a couple of days. So I thought, why not make it a permanent vacation? Because I couldn't handle no more. I couldn't handle it. I can only do so much. And I wasn't too harsh on her. Me and my wife, either one, we were just trying to tell her you don't have to get upset when you lose stuff. When you lose, most of the stuff you lose is material things. But, and it can be, majority of stuff you can call a number you need to get done. If you want a job, go out there and get you one. Go fill out an application somewhere. Go online, whatever it is they have you do these days. Don't sit there and be like this person and be sitting there with no money and no car for the kids. Don't sit there and drown in your own self-pity and let things get to this point. We experienced one of these, and I hope I never, ever see another. As long as I shall live, I hope I never see another. I want to see somebody happy. I want to make somebody happy. I do want to do that. But I do not want to see another nutcase from some Hiwassee place or any place of anything to do with somebody going to one of these places, because they always seem to come out worse for wear, and they just want you to go along with their little story and make it sound good. Yeah. Hey, Mama dressed her up pretty, didn't she?
Yep. I don't call her a boy.
But it don't matter what the hell you put on. I wear shit off sometimes with pink on it and things like that. One of my favorite colors is pink. I just didn't like blue. And
because Daddy's favorite color.
Because, Bret Hart wore pink and black. Undertaker wore purple at one time. What? Oh, okay. There's the one she got dressed this morning. Dorothy.
This is my baby. And see, I put things on a hat and onesie underneath in a sleeper because it's cold. So I just her up morning. And I'm letting her wear her daddy's favorite color. Color.
Hey, that's pretty.
Daddy's favorite color.
But no, I just gonna kind of come out here and play a little video. But yeah, if anybody wants to ever see us out here, please don't waste our time. If you're gonna talk to us, just talk to us. I'm not guaranteeing you that after today that our offer's still out there, but if it is, I'll update it and check this one person you want me to check out up here at Pig. If it's not, if we get somewhere with that, then I'll update something on here or something. But so we'll see what's in the cards. But it's a person she's talked to for a while about some stuff, and somebody that's gotten her a Coke or two before. So maybe she's got everything. Like I said, at least she does work somewhere, and everything. This one that we're going to meet today, hopefully, will have everything pretty well. Needs to be, or like a puzzle. It needs to be wherever it needs to be. It needs to be put in its spot, place, or whatever. Because, you gotta, like I told my wife, you gotta at least somehow meet in the middle. And if you can't meet in the middle with somebody, that's where your problem's gonna start. And I just never felt, not that everybody had to be 100% on board, but if you can get in there 50%, you're doing good. If you have a chance to get in there at least halfway, you can work your way up maybe to 60, 70% and maybe make it higher. But you just, sometimes you get these people and you don't know what, and I don't understand. I mean, yeah, Barry, my wife hadn't went up there, just as the example, if my wife had never went up there, she'd never would never seen it. The problem with it was that this person I know what he was thinking. I don't have to know the guy. I just saw something on the outside and thought it was, worth taking home. And it just, my God, I mean, you're going to tell me this part. Now I've made this example. This didn't happen, but I'm just making this example. You can go out there, this person could have had a weapon on. I mean, they could have had like a gun, a knife, anything on them, And they go out there and they pick these people up off the side of the road for what? What are you gonna do? Take her home? I mean, she already don't look like she needs to be done that way. I mean, she was pretty tall and had, somewhat of a build on her a little bit. So, naturally, I would think, my thought through my head might be to call the police first and foremost, to tell them that, hey, or find out who, or ask her who her parents is or something. She's out there walking the streets. Find out what, go somewhere and you maybe ask her that, or something. But don't let her sleep in your house, your apartment. I mean, we made that mistake up here ourselves, but I ain't doing it again. And not till I know everything. We had a talk, me and my wife did, and I agree with her. Unless me and her both get to see this person up close, and we don't take it no further because it ain't right either way. They shouldn't come up to one and tease one of them and not do the other and all this stuff. This way we get to see the person and we'll find out what's what and see what's going on there. But, my wife. Oh, okay. Oh, thanks, honey. But she said it wasn't about no job thing or anything. So,
Her daughter's got a ring on for me.
Oh,
Too.
but anyway, so we're gonna go down here in a little bit and see what's gonna go on, and we'll, like I say, we'll might come out here and update it. If we think it's gonna be over with, 'Cause we have put stuff out here, so it's only right. Even though we don't usually get much reaction on here. But no, we're gonna go out, probably go shop, do something after a while, like that, be gone for a little bit. But anyway, we'll talk later. You want to say anything on your video? Okay. All right. Well, we're heading out. Heading off for now.